Most of you watching this video probably know what this thing is. This right here is the Southern Pacific AC-12 cab forward. For those who don't know, these engines were built between 1943 and 1945, and in the following years they became quickly known for being the premier heavy freight haulers of the railroad they came from, the Southern Pacific. Now, right off the bat, you would notice, why is the cab positioned like that? And furthermore, if the Southern Pacific cab forwards worked, then why did designs like these from other railroads and railway companies fail? Well, all those questions will be answered in today's video as we explore cab forwards, the enigma of the Southern Pacific. This story begins on the SP system sometime around the 1910s, and everything is running well. Passengers and freight were getting to their destinations safely and on time. Things couldn't be any better, right? Well, that's except for here. These are the Sierra Nevada mountain ranges, always a tricky stretch for the Southern Pacific. It only got worse as trains got longer. Problems quickly arose, primarily the longer tunnels on sections like Donner Pass, since they had to sometimes double or even triple head engines on the longer trains. The great volumes of exhaust fumes would asphyxiate the crews on some occasions. The employees couldn't possibly go on like this, so as a result, a team of design engineers from the Southern Pacific's head office came up with a plan for a Malay with the cab in the front. Classified MC2, the Southern Pacific had Baldwin build 15 without even testing one of them. Numbered 4002 to 4016, they were delivered in February and March of 1910. The engineers and firemen's controls were shifted to the opposite sides of the cab so that when run backwards, the crew was on the usual side of the track. Since the firebox on these locomotives were located in the front, far from the tender, they were designed to burn oil. Oil was piped from the tender along the locomotive to the firebox. The oil bunker in the tender on these locomotives was made airtight and structurally braced. They were slightly pressurized with air from the main air reservoir to ensure constant oil flow to the burner in the firebox to the locomotive when traveling uphill. This is a crucial detail as it was one of the main reasons why every class of these locomotives were so successful. Unlike earlier designs like the Northern Pacific's experimental design, instead of oil, these earlier examples would use coal. Now this would already raise several issues, like how would you get the coal from the firebox to the cab if it's all the way over here? That means the only way to circumnavigate this is to add a bunker at the front, but this will severely limit the coal capacity, and by then you just have the world's most complicated tank engine. After the MC2s had proven themselves, 32 more classified MC4 and MC6, MC3 and MC5 were skipped, were ordered. Before it was all over, Southern Pacific had ended up with a total of 256 cab forwards. These cab forwards came in several wheel arrangements, including 2882, 4662, and 4882. Although the crews initially complained about the concerns that if they hit a gasoline trunk at a grade crossing, they would be right on top of it when they exploded. Fortunately, in 46 years of running cab forwards, this never happened. The advantage in visibility was tremendous, however the cab forward's triumph was yet to come. In January of 1952, train number 101, the city of San Francisco, got stuck in a heavy snowdrift by Yuba Pass in California. AC-12 cab forward number 4205 was dispatched up the gradient from Colfax to retrieve it. After a few days of running through multiple pieces of snow removal equipment, the engine and its crew got train number 101 and started towing it down to Truckee, where the diesels hauling the train could receive repairs and the company could find alternative transportation for the passengers. Just when the convoy was getting somewhere, it was caught in another avalanche and they had to get saved by another two cab forwards, number 4155 and 4242. Once they made it, it was decided that the city of San Francisco should be hauled back to Colfax instead. Fortunately, this attempt was without incident. In fact, I have a whole video from about 2 years back discussing this event that should be on the top right left of the corner of your screen right now. The lives of these locos were kind of uneventful until the end of steam on the Southern Pacific in 1958. In fact, one of the last steam-powered services on the entire system was hauled by a cab forward, in fact. Number 4274 will haul the last steam-hauled train over Donner Pass from Roseville during November 30th and December 1st. Almost all cab forwards across the SP system were scrapped between 1957 and 1959, except for one. AC-12 4294 was officially retired on March 5, 1956, but the Railway and Locomotive Historical Society lobbied the SP to preserve 4294. The Southern Pacific folded, and thus 4294 was donated to the city of Sacramento and put on outdoor display at the SP station next to CP Huntington on October 19, 1958. After 1964, construction on the I-5 highway required that 4294 was moved. It was moved to the SP shops, and it was chosen to store the engine outdoors. In May 1981, 4294 was cosmetically restored and moved from the SP shops to its current location inside the California State Railroad Museum. Though restoring 4294 to operating condition was once considered, the standard impediments prohibited this from further consideration. Today, the locomotive stands at the Sacramento Railroad Museum in California, standing as a proud reminder of what once was, and despite the fact that this marvel of engineering will most likely never be seen under steam again, at least it's still here for future generations to enjoy and admire. And don't you think that's enough? This is Fred signing off, and thanks for watching.